English. This is Pratibha Patil. Today we are going to learn very interesting and new story in English, and that is topic number 4.3, the Red-Headed League. The lesson Red-Headed League is one of the 56 Sherlock Holmes short stories written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So let's first know about writer Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, born on 22nd May 1859 and died on 7th July 1930. He was a British writer and physician. He was well known for his creation of Detective Sherlock Holmes, one of the most vivid and enduring characters in English fiction. The present story involves mystery and suspense. Like other Sherlock Holmes stories, this story is too told by his friend Dr. Watson. Part first, Mr. Wilson's story. Let's first know about characters. Sherlock Holmes, the most famous and popular private detective in the world of detective stories and novels. He is known for his keen observation, knowledge of many fields, and ability to make proper and accurate decisions. Mr. Hopkins, an American millionaire who founded the Red-Headed League to help the people red with hair. Next character, Dr. Watson, Detective Sherlock Holmes' friend who assisted him in many criminal cases, and he is the narrator of this present story. Next character, Mr. Jabez Wilson. Mr. Wilson was an elderly fiery red hair. He was a pawnbroker. He applied for advertisement in a person. He got the job, but that brought him into the trouble. Next, Vincent Spaulding. He was Mr. Wilson's assistant. He was smart, efficient, and worked for half normal wages. He advised Mr. Wilson to apply for the job. Next character, Mr. Duncan Ross. He was the representative of Red-Headed League. He gave the job to Mr. Wilson. He engaged Mr. Wilson for doing nominal job. He was one of the criminal in the mystery case. So let's see the story. In the beginning of the story, when Dr. Watson met his friend Sherlock Holmes, he was talking with the visitor who was elder and he was having glowing red hair. Holmes introduced Mr. Watson to the visitor, Mr. Wilson, who was a pawnbroker. Pawnbroker means a person who lends money at interest when valuable things are kept with him up to the loan is repaid. So Mr. Wilson was pawnbroker. Holmes told him to repeat his story. So Mr. Wilson started with advertisement. To the Red-Headed League, there is a vacancy for a member of the league and the salary is £4 pounds a week for nominal services. Red-headed men may apply in person on Monday at 11 o'clock to Duncan Ross at the office of the League, 7 Fleet Street. This advertisement was given in the newspaper before 2 months ago, and it was shown by Mr. Wilson's assistant Vincent Spaulding. He was smart, efficient and working for half wages. But he had a fault. By leaving his work, he used to go down in the cellar for developed photographs, as photography was his hobby. Spaulding explained about advertisement to Mr. Wilson. An American millionaire, Mr. Hopkins, had founded Red-Headed League to help the people like him. Spaulding requested Mr. Wilson to apply for the job. So they both went to the given address. As soon as they reached there, they saw number of the red-headed people. So Mr. Wilson thought, so much competition, he will not get job. So he decided to go back. But his assistant pushed him in the office. When he entered in the office, he saw a couple of chairs and table. And behind the table, one red-haired person was sitting. He was Duncan Ross, who was the representative of the Red-Headed League. And by seeing the Wilson, immediately he declared he was suitable for the job, and he congratulated Mr. Wilson and said all the other candidates to go back. Then Mr. Ross explained to the Mr. Wilson about the job. He had to be in the office 10 to 2 and the pay was fixed at £4 in a week. Mr. Wilson had to copy down Encyclopedia Britannica. The pay was good and the work was very light, very easy. Mr. Wilson accepted the job and started his work. Mr. Duncan Ross was observing Mr. Wilson was doing work properly and not leave the office. He told Mr. Wilson to start the work from A. Mr. Duncan Ross checked again and again that all is right with Mr. Wilson. He was doing his work properly. And every day, 2 o'clock, he used to come and he said Mr. Wilson goodbye and locked the door of office. Every Saturday, Mr. Wilson got his salary. After a few days, Mr. Duncan Ross came only once in a while and after then did not come in at all. Mr. Wilson continued with his work. 8 weeks had passed. He completed A later and now he hoped to get on B soon. But suddenly the whole business came to an end. Then Mr. Holmes asked to Mr. Wilson to an end. Then Wilson explained that the next morning when as usual he went for his work, the door of office was closed with the nailed one note on it. It was written, "The Red-Headed League was dissolved October 9, 1880. Mr. Wilson was shocked. He did not know what to do. He inquired nearby offices about the league, but none of them knew about it. And even the room had been rented under the false name. Then Mr. Wilson went at home and asked the advice to his assistant, but he did not help him. He said he wanted to know about league and why and who played this prank upon him. He heard about Mr. Holmes a lot, so he came to him. Holmes found Mr. Wilson's story very unusual. Then he asked Wilson about his assistant, who first cast his attention towards the advertisement. What is he like? Then Mr. Wilson explained about his assistant. After that, Holmes asked Wilson about is he still with him. Then Wilson told that yes. After a few minutes, Holmes told Wilson about this matter. He will give his opinion after 2 days. Means today is Saturday. By Monday, he will come to conclusion. New words from the story. League, an association or formal group of people. League means an association or formal group of people. Next, fiery. Fiery means bright red. Bright red. Red-headed means a person with red hair. Red-headed means a person with red hair. Next, nominal means easy or simple. Nominal means easy or simple. Next word, founded. Founded means started. Founded means started. Let's see, based on this story, which type of questions can be asked. For example, answer the following questions in 1 or 2 words each. What was the visitor's name? What was the visitor's name? Mr. Jabez Wilson. Mr. Jabez Wilson. Next question. Who called upon Mr. Sherlock Holmes? Who called upon Mr. Sherlock Holmes? Yes, absolutely correct. Dr. Watson. Dr. Watson. Next, who had shown the advertisement to Mr. Wilson? Who had shown the advertisement to Mr. Wilson? Vincent Spaulding. Vincent Spaulding. Next, who was the representative of the Red-Headed League? Who was the representative of the Red-Headed League? Answer is Duncan Ross. Duncan Ross. Next type of question, answer the following questions in detail. Here we have to write the answer in 6 to 8 lines. Let's have some examples. Who do you think is smarter? Who do you think is smarter, Mr. Wilson or his assistant? Mr. Wilson or his assistant? Give reason for your own answer. Here we can mention that assistant is smarter because he spotted the advertisement and convinced Mr. Wilson to apply for the job. Mr. Wilson was discouraged to see the huge crowd of the red-headed people. But at the same time, he wanted to go back, but assistant pushed him through the crowd into the office. This shows that he is smarter than Mr. Wilson. Same way, write a short note on the following, like that also questions can be asked based on this story. In this way, today we studied the part first of Mr. Wilson's story. I hope you understood it. Thank you.